Sean and Darren back with you with another market update, and this is, of course, coming to the end of Q1 already.
I know.
Here we are,
Hasn't
Sean.
it flown by?
It has, and actually, it's been a while since we've graced the stage together, really.
You've obviously been on the beach because you're looking very tanned.
Well, the sun's come out. We had a record, what was it, 3 weeks of rain.
Which beach
the
did you
sun's
go
come
to?
out.
Which beach did you
I'm not
go
telling
to
you.
get this
I'm not
lovely
telling
tan?
you.
I know I'm looking a little bit pasty, but
Because you do all the work.
I've obviously been doing.
Anyway, it's been an interesting Q1, hasn't it?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. What's been
hard
happening?
work.
Yeah.
It's felt like hard work, but we've done really well. We've had our busiest ever Q1 in terms of sales volume, in terms of revenue, in terms of lots of things. And so we've been really successful, but it's felt like hard work.
Yeah, it has. What do you think's changed then? What's going on?
Do you know what? I think it's what we said 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago. There's a lot of agents out there. It's very competitive. I expected there to be some internal pain within the agent industry here, and I think we're seeing that. I'm hearing that. Whether we've been fortunate or whether we're good at our jobs, I don't know. I won't be the judge of that. But I think what we've seen is that we've worked hard. We've had to work hard to get the results from quarter one. But I think there are agents who haven't maybe had the same level of success. But I think the market's just fine. The market's great. In fact, I think there was 24% more
In Andalucia.
properties in February sold than in Andalucia than this time last year.
Yeah.
So that says to me the market's strong. But I think the fact that there's so many agents, I mean, is it over 2,000 now on the coast? And I said this would happen. There's just a little bit of pain within the agent environment.
Yeah, certainly indicative of the market where we are at with it as well. And it has been busy. It has been, I felt that with the team as well, we've had, it's been harder. It's been harder though to get those deals coming through, hasn't it? And I mean, I think it's the buyers, isn't it? They're being a little bit more, well, let's just see where we're at. And this is where I guess the skill set of the team come in to close these deals.
Absolutely. And we've always said it that we're in a second home market here. So a lot of people who are buying, I think those who are buying to relocate, it's slightly different. There's slightly more urgency. But when people are buying for a luxury purchase, really, which is what it is, nobody needs a second home in Marbella. A lot of people would like one. So there isn't that urgency for them to press the button. They can come back in 6 months. They can come back in 12 months. Our argument to them is, well, you might have missed out. You will have missed out. But their argument is, well, I don't need it in my life. I've already got a home. I can come on holiday. So there's always that constant kind of struggle.
Yeah. I'm finding that the prices are still buoyant, they're still strong, but we're having a slight adjustment here. They're not dropping as such, but I don't feel that they're continuing to go up and up and up. They're kind of holding back, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we had a little bit of over-excitement immediately after COVID for those couple of years where there was a glut of demand for property abroad. People were trying to find themselves a new, better quality of life. So they were prepared to pay for it, particularly at the high end of the market. So a lot of vendors and agents got a little bit excited, I think, and started, I'm going to call it what it is, they started overpricing properties, in my opinion. And of course, the pricing depends on the demand. And if the demand then starts to cool a little bit, then you need to adjust your asking prices accordingly. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing just those, I would like to call them price corrections. As you say, it's not a fire sale. People aren't discounting by 20, 30%. It's almost like just little 5% coming off the price. We were getting deals away maybe 12 months ago at asking price or above. Now it's just coming off slightly. It's still a very healthy market, like you said, but I think the overexcitement has maybe just left it a little bit.
Now, for Q1 as well, we've had so many different news events happening, haven't they, historically, that have changed the landscape of the real estate market, from global events to new regulations. There's been so much in there as well. How do you think that's having an effect on our target audience?
Well, do you know what? Having done this for 24 years, there's always something. There's always something coming and wanting to slap you in the face.
Yeah, but there's more than just one thing.
Yeah, I know. But it's weather, it's volcanoes, it's Brexit, there's recessions, there's always COVID, there's always something coming along, and you think, oh, really? Give us a break. This the start of the year, we've had a lot of news about the rental laws in Spain for short-term rentals, and it's a big topic worldwide, actually, particularly in Europe. I know they're having issues about it in the UK, but there's been recent protests in the Spanish cities about the fact that housing is no longer affordable for the locals, and it is an issue. And Pedro Sanchez, our Spanish Prime Minister, he runs a socialist coalition. So it's on his agenda to try and sort this out. And of course, what he's trying to do is to, what is it, crack a walnut with a, what's the analogy? Anyway.
I've never heard that, but I get it.
He's trying to solve a problem by maybe doing the wrong thing, in my opinion, which is penalising foreign investment. Where foreign investment actually is the lifeblood of a lot of tourism. Anyway, that's a moot point.
Sure.
But what they've done is they've introduced laws which came into effect on I think early April, and they are trying to limit the amount of short-term rentals coming to market so that there's more affordable housing available for local people. But of course, in a place like Marbella, which is very tourist based, it doesn't really work, because what you're doing is you're then penalising your income flow, which is, of course, tourists. So I think something has to give with this. And what it's meant is a huge amount of confusion, particularly within apartment communities of owners who have been told that they now have the right to pretty much stop anyone from renting their apartments in the urbanisation. That's not strictly true, but I'm not going to go into the detail unless I have a lawyer with me, because it's backwards and forwards. We can't even get lawyers to agree at the moment about what the law is. I mean,
but it will adjust. We'll get there.
It will sort itself out, and I think the main thing is to, if you're thinking about buying here on the Costa del Sol, and you are doing so with the intention of perhaps renting your property out short term, speak to a good agent, speak to a good lawyer, and try and work through it with them. It's impossible to do on your own.
That's good advice.
And then we had what else have we had? We had the weather.
Yeah.
We had
historical. I mean, it was like so much rain.
I know.
And even my house had a little bit of water ingress.
We've been, what's the word, sluicing? We've been taking the water out of the reservoirs. This time last year, we were worried that the reservoirs were empty.
Yeah.
And now they're too full.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? So we had that, we've got the global affairs going on.
Can we talk about Trump?
We can have a little mention of it. I mean, that's all happening as well, isn't it?
It's all happening.
It's going to have, would you think that's going to have any effect? Will it have a knee-jerk like it does sometimes?
I think for anyone looking for an excuse not to do something, then the market's collapsing and falling is going to it's going to spook someone. It would spook most people, I think. So I always think if it's a discretionary purchase and you don't need to do it, all it takes is a bit of bad weather, a bit of Trump up to his old tricks, bit of Trump action, and it's enough to put you off. I think what we need to do is just wait and see what happens. Every day there's something, isn't there? And I think with a potential trade war, it doesn't really help many people. The other option, if you flip it on its head, is to say, well, a lot of people are now trying to put their money into safe havens. Gold is always the sort of primary one, but property is a pretty good safe haven as well. So a lot of people, we're getting people coming to us a little bit concerned about the markets, the investment markets, the stock markets, worried. And we've got other people coming to us saying, right, I've got money and I don't want to put it in stocks. So I want to invest in property.
So that with the markets, they close up and down. It's all erratic at the moment. But I'm sure it'll smooth itself out again, like it always does.
I think it will. I think there's a lot of bluster, but it's not nice.
Yeah, so an interesting Q1. How do you see moving on to Q2?
Depends what Trump does.
Well, the weather's picked up at least. Come on now, yeah.
I think we're getting a lot of people coming here to visit for tourism purposes, but also to look at properties. Our lead flow is very healthy.
Yeah.
We're talking to a lot of people who are very interested in buying Spanish property, who want to come over and take a look. So we don't see any real difference. I think that, we attack the market from different angles. So we always have quite a diverse lead flow from all over the world. So if one market is down, if the Brits are worried or the Americans are worried, then there's other markets that will step in. What we don't want and what we want to avoid is, of course, is global kind of contagion, because that's no good for anyone. But I do think that a lot of people are considering and will consider the Costa del Sol as that, a safe haven. And I've always said the safe haven for you and your families and a safe haven for your money.
Yeah, and in terms of where our clients are coming from at the moment, how are we seeing the split across the world?
Wow, all over. So the UK split was down, I think it was last year, it was about 30% of our buyers. This year, it's about 20 to 25. So not a huge drop off. Americans are about the same.
I mean, we had a busy spell with the Americans before the change, didn't we? The golden visa.
Yeah, we did. And I think from meeting a few Americans on Friday night at an event we both went to, I think there'll be more coming with what's happening in the States. So it's quite fascinating, isn't it? Because we are kind of a barometer for global events. And seeing people wanting to bail out of a country and start a new life in the sun in sunny Spain is great.
Price points as well. We're seeing a mixture, aren't we? There, highs and lows.
We are. I mean, our average price point is €1 million. It has been for a couple of years now, and for me, that's a very comfortable position to be in. I never thought 24 years ago I'd be saying that, because back then, it was the start of things. It was 200,000, 100,000 for a lovely apartment. Things have changed. But that means that we're doing a lot of business higher up than that, and we're doing a lot of business lower down than that, and that's just fine, because I think you need to cover a few bases in this. With these world events going on, you kind of need to see what's happening at all levels of the market.
Sure. So key takeaways from this one. What are we looking at, just as a summarise?
Positive. Yep. There's no let up in lead flow. There's no let up in appointments or sales. We've had the busiest quarter one in our history, which is fantastic. I think there are headwinds, but there's always been headwinds, and we've always overcome them. I think there's probably too many agents in the Costa del Sol to satisfy the amount of interest. So some have got to feel some pain, and I can see that happening, but it's what we predicted. And I think quarter two, quarter three, which is normally our busiest time of year, looking good.
Good stuff.
But we could do without any more shocks from across the pond.
Indeed, absolutely. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us on that Q1 market update. Until the next time, from Sean and myself, we'll catch you very soon.
Bye-bye.